Good morning, people. Well, at least it's about to be good morning for me. Just arrived at the Trailhead to Mount St. Helens, and I'm going to be climbing up that way, from Marble Mountain to the Warm Springs Trail to the summit. At least that's the plan. I did look online at current conditions, and people have posted pictures of ice diamonds that are 2 feet wide. So I did not bring the skis. I do not plan on glissading unless I see that it's safe. But hopefully we'll actually be able to see some of those cool ice formations on the way up. Either way, it's going to be a fun day. I did forget my poles as usual, but I do have an ice axe, so, life is good. See you guys on the mountain.
Alright, as we get started, I'd like to remind you that this is a 360 video, so you can push the WASD keys to look around, or if you're on the phone, you can swipe or rotate your phone to change the field of view. The thing is, 360 videos are a zoomed-in rectangle of a much larger video, so you want to turn the quality as high as possible so that your zoomed-in rectangle actually looks nice, and if you're using mobile data, you should probably wait until you're at home and connected to the Wi-Fi, because it's going to burn a lot more data than you think. With that out of the way, let's talk about today's hike. We're doing Mount St. Helens via Warm Flows Trail, which is 5,500 feet of vert and just under 10 miles. To put that in perspective, that's 1,000 feet more than the normal route of Mount St. Helens, and more vert and distance than doing Mount Hood via the standard route on the south side. But because it's a gradual climb and not as steep as Mount Hood, as long as you're properly prepared, it's reasonably safe and easy. But you didn't click this video to hear me rambling about Mount St. Helens. The sun is rising and the snow is nice, so I'll shut up for a bit and just let the scenery do all the talking.
That's not a good sign.
Alright, so this is the moment where I realized I've made a horrible mistake. You see, the current conditions said that there was really icy with giant ice diamonds. The weather forecast made it look like it was going to be icy too, so I packed everything for steep ice climbing, not thick snow. This is a point where I can see that there is wind blowing powder snow near the top, meaning that there is not going to be any ice, and I'm going to have to boot through miles of thick snow, which I'm not necessarily prepared for. It means it's going to be a much safer day, but it's going to be a much longer day. You'll also notice that I came to investigate this little slab that peeled off. This is a telltale sign of avalanche danger. Now, it wasn't as high once I went to go investigate it, but it was still reasonably high up there, so you won't see me going into any valleys at any point throughout the entire day. You will see choruses which in theory could break and wipe out anyone beneath them, and I just didn't want to be a part of that, especially with skiers coming down the mountain non-stop. It also led me to one last conclusion that's going to be kind of disheartening. Because of the strong wind and powder snow, it is going to be too dangerous for me to take the regular route to the summit. So instead, I'm going to be aiming for the saddle which overlooks the center of the crater instead of the true summit. It also means I won't be able to get as close to the rim as normal because I won't know how big the choruses are and how much weight they can take. All this is to say, it's going to be a much longer day than I thought for not as great of a view. But that's enough doom and gloom. We got a mountain to climb and only one way to go. Higher up. I hope you guys were able to enjoy the summit view. Now, the reason I didn't go up that little hill is because the view to the left of me is really not that impressive. There is obviously the true summit to the left, and if you noticed, I tried to get as close as I could to the rim while still being able to hold out my helmet. and get that last extra foot so you guys could see into it. Now, if you look towards the right, you'll notice that the choruses that build up are thicker towards the tops of the hills and shallower in the valleys. That's because the wind funnels the snow up the valleys and actually blows them out a little smoother. This means it's safer to get closer to the edge when you're nearer to the little valleys, and thus I can get just a few inches closer so that when I hold my helmet out, it gets a little bit better view of the crater itself. It was a choice between whether I wanted a view of the crater itself or whether I wanted a view of the Pacific Coast Range, which I honestly don't find that interesting. With that explanation, you'll notice that I am back at the third step, and it is about to be the fun part of today's adventure. Now I am wearing snow pants, so I'll go a little faster and can glissade on slightly shallower slopes than most people, but that also means on this steeper third step I'll have to really dig my body into the ground to avoid going too fast. I'll try to keep the cuts a little longer so that you can actually enjoy the fun of me going down. And then it's just going to be a couple of cuts before I get back to the car, which I forgot to film, so I will just have to put a fake ending screen while I do the credits. Anyway, thanks for watching my video, and I hope you enjoy the ride down.